which includes a child tax credit program, among other numerous spending initiatives. Designed with the federal child tax credit in mind, the Pennsylvania Child and Department Care Enhancement enables families to receive tax breaks for child care expenses at a value of 30% of their federal credit. Though it is expected to mirror federal child tax credit income eligibility, the state is using $24.6 million to fund the program. It is now a permanent part of the Pennsylvania tax code. The Pennsylvania residents who care for one dependent can claim a maximum of $3,000, and for those with two or more dependents, the maximum is $6,000. Anyone who received a property tax or rent rebate during the 2021 tax season is automatically eligible for the additional rebate. Pennsylvanians can still apply for the 2021 rebate program and obtain the 70% bonus rebate until the end of the year. Folks, what do you think about President Biden? Is he doing all that it takes to send the fourth stimulus check, or do you think he's holding it back? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Ton of good news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, and SSDI. Here's the latest news, everybody. Keep on watching this because you don't want to miss out. Republicans are working with Democrats to put together an official stimulus program. Millions of low and middle income households will be receiving automatic recurring stimulus checks. These checks provide relief as inflation continues to rise. There is a new stimulus proposal on the negotiating table. This new Senate proposal, introduced by Mitt Romney, called the Family Security Act 2.0, could bring discussions back to life. The new proposal comes with a work requirement, leaving many families out who may need the money the most. For each child under the age of 6, eligible parents could receive up to $350 per month, totaling around $4,200 annually per dependent. The number of children eligible will be capped at $6 for a max total of $2,100 per month. For each kid between the ages of 6 and 17, eligible parents will receive up to $250 per month. The new child tax credit proposal includes a work requirement. Families must have earned $10,000 or more in the past year to receive the full benefit. The $10,000 earnings threshold will be annually indexed to inflation. And with the 2021 child tax credit, parents were able to receive the full amount of $3,600 if the child was born by the end of December. The new Senate Republicans' proposal includes expecting parents. Those who are 4 months away from their due date will receive up to $700 a month, totaling $2,800 during pregnancy. Security Act 2.0 will be paid for by consolidating existing federal spending. According to Romney's proposal, that includes reforming the Earned Income Tax Credit, eliminating state and local deductions, and eliminating the head of household filing status, and eliminating the child portion of the Child Independent Care Credit. So there's some big news from the IRS. The IRS says that the average tax refund for returns filed in 2022.
And you're recognized for your questions.
Thank you, Chairman Peters. Appreciate you waiting for me. And thank you for your willingness to serve. Let's talk a little bit about transportation cybersecurity. TSA, you have an enormous and complex responsibility of securing the nation's transportation system from both physical and, of course, cyber threats. And so with cyber attacks on American transportation infrastructure, well, they're escalating in both frequency and severity. Earlier this year, Senator Wicker and I wrote to both DHS Secretary Mayorkas and Transportation Secretary Buttigieg requesting information about their respective agencies' security-related processes to detect, to prevent, and to respond to these cyber threats. And so, as you know, TSA recently announced new security directives and guidance for measures to strengthen cybersecurity across the transportation sector. Additionally, you mentioned when we met in my office last month, the TSA is going to start to more robustly regulate cybersecurity, especially at airports for airlines and also for the freight rail systems. So, Mr. Administrator, would you talk about what the future TSA cybersecurity efforts will look like? If you're confirmed for another term, and really, do you have the resources, does TSA have the resources it needs to properly address the cybersecurity threats to our nation's critical transportation system? What do you need from us?
Thank you, Senator. I appreciate the question, and you're right. I mean, we've placed a lot of effort, particularly over the past year plus, on cybersecurity across critical transportation infrastructure in the country. We began with the oil and natural gas pipeline system, issued 2 security directives last year to do a couple things, and one of them is very consistent with what this committee has long championed, and that is cyber reporting. So we require significant cyber incidents to be reported to CISA, who then distributes them throughout the interagency. And then in July of last year, we put a series of measures in place that required those companies, 97 companies out of 3,000, to put these measures in place over the course of the ensuing year. We are about to issue today, and I will send you a copy of what we issued today, a revision to that second security directive that changes the approach. It allows what's currently been done to continue, but if owners and operators want to more tailor their cyber approach to their own business model, it gives them the flexibility to do that. So
I thank the gentleman from Connecticut. I appreciate the opportunity to speak here with you. And I just want to say I've been in Congress now 20 years and have known Mr. Larson for that long. And he has been an absolute bulldog on this issue. I think, John, you understand better than most the impact of this program, and to just consistently year in and year out get this on the radar screen. And now we're going to have a markup next week on this, and really proposing this, I think, at a time of great need. The pandemic that we all have experienced over the last few years, the economic collapse global economic collapse that we saw in the last couple of years, I think pulled the veil back on a lot of problems that we've had in this country. And we could go through the entire list, but I think one of them that is most significant is how many people in this country, how many seniors in this country struggle to make ends meet. In the wealthiest country on God's green earth, the most significant, most dynamic economy, we have, a handful of people building their own space stations, going into space, and God bless, that's only, can only happen in America. But the reality is, the vast majority of people in this country are still struggling. And what we're talking about here is a group of people who did everything right, busted their rear ends their whole life. Single moms taking care of a couple kids, people working in factories, people waitressing, nurses, public servants, people who are out there every single day and have done everything right. And this is what the Social Security system is all about. I remember, when my grandparents passed away, I remember going through their drawers at their house. And, you got to clean everything up, and it's really a heartbreaking experience. And I found this little black book that was my great-grandfather's. Dominic Guerra came over from Italy with $17 in his pocket, and it was his little black book. And I opened it up, and it had on the left side, it had the names of the people who belonged to this group that was called the Volsini Club. He came from a little village in Italy, Volsini, in the southern part, in the Basilicata region. And it was the Volsini Club. And on the left-hand side were all the names of the Italians from Volsini in Niles, Ohio. And at the top of the book were the months of the year. And so it would say